Hello again, everybody, and today we have a video about some ridiculous new rules that Twitch has put into place. Now, I'm not actually the most avid Twitch user. I have watched maybe like 2 streams on there, and the only reason I have an account is so I can, use the mod pack feature they had, but now that Overwolf is a thing, and I can just like launch CurseForge directly from my desktop, I no longer really use the platform anymore. And at one point I did actually consider making a Twitch account to stream speedpaint, seeing as YouTube streaming is kind of clunky at times, but seeing how terribly they run their platform, from inconsistent rule enforcements, blatant favoritism, and just a lack of transparency to the more recent DMCA issues, I just decided to stick to YouTube. And for this video, I'm mainly going to be criticizing Twitch as an outsider looking in. However, just because I don't have a real stake in the ground, so to speak, that doesn't mean I can't still provide opinions, because it's objectively stupid what they're doing here, and I'm pretty sure everyone can agree on that. Anyways, before I get into the video, I am once more asking you to follow the account me and my friends made to update you guys on the progress of my webcomic. I have put so much time into developing this thing, and I'm really hoping I can get it out by February, so it would mean a lot if you dropped us a follow. It's the top link in the description, and with that being said, I will get the video started. So, in case you somehow missed it, Twitch staff hosted a town hall stream where they basically said that they were going to ban the words simp, incel, and virgin used in an insulting context. Alongside that, there's also a new rule that prohibits people from accusing streamers of only having fame or evading a ban because they engaged in certain inappropriate behaviors with Twitch staff, which is incredibly specific, might I add, but I digress. It was stated that these rules would be implemented starting in January, but we've already seen big streamers get banned for it. Kavos made a stream on an alt account where he was just calling his chat simps, and you might have seen this hashtag going around. A huge streamer known as Justaminx was also hit by this new rule, and she received a week-long suspension. Kavos was kind of trying to get banned, but on the other hand, Minx was not. She had literally just used the words in passing, and she stated on Twitter that her ban was for hateful slurs or symbols, and I'm pretty sure people would be talking about it a little more if she had actually said any slurs or put up any real hateful symbols. So paired with the new rule announcement, one can only come to the conclusion that the ban was related to the words simp, incel, etc., and this is obviously incredibly stupid. The word simp is not a slur, and neither are the ones that came with it in the new rules. It's just insane that they're being put on the same level as actually harmful words. I swear, a new word becomes a slur every day because just because a word is insulting, it doesn't make it a slur. The Twitch community, as you can probably expect, did not react well to this, and neither did the community in general. A lot of popular creators were showing their support for her, and the community does not have a lot of trust in Twitch as a platform, which is completely understandable considering they're so messy when it comes to enforcement of their rules. Like I mentioned in the intro, there are constant cases of favoritism, the rules aren't enforced equally, and there is little to no transparency when it comes to things like bans. I still find it incredibly sketchy that we still have no idea why Dr. Disrespect was banned, and considering he was quite literally one of their largest creators, I think we should, know. But they also seem to want to do everything but take action on issues that legitimately matter. Like, Twitch only recently put a global ban on the N-word. It didn't cross their mind in the 10 or so years their platform was up to ban one of the most common egregious racial slurs, but the moment someone calls a Twitch employee a simp one too many times, it's completely against the rules. Not to mention the whole incident with Hassan Bakari, where he was literally soliciting favors from a streamer in exchange for giving her a partnership. This, coupled with the new ban on accusing streamers of, well, doing pretty much that exact same thing, looks very bad on their part. Firstly, nobody with a brain cell actually believes that it's all jokes. Like, if you completely unironically believe that some random ass Twitch employee is getting some from somebody like Amaranth or Alinity, you're actually fucking stupid. But anyways, I kinda got a bit off topic there, but what I was getting at is that even though the rules are said to be rolling out in January, people are getting hit now. Saying one thing and then going back and then doing another thing obviously does not look very good. Some part of me feels like a lot of these rules were implemented only to protect Twitch staff's feelings as well as the creators, I guess, but especially with the whole you can't accuse people of soliciting Twitch staff to get popularity or evade bans, it just seems that they're so soft because it's literally such a specific rule that it's hard to not think that to some extent. And if it was the streamers that were complaining, then yeah, you're also pretty fucking soft. It's also important to note that Twitch enforces their rules off-site, meaning that if a creator were to break one of their rules on a different platform, Twitch can still ban them. And in certain cases, that can be a helpful policy to have if, for example, a streamer was saying like, really gross things on Twitter or harassing people in real life. Yeah, it could be a good thing if they are removed from the platform, but overall, I feel like there's a lot of nuance to that kind of rule, because while it can be helpful in some cases, it can be very much the opposite in others, and especially with these new silly rules, there's a lot of room for mistakes to be made, and even though making mistakes while implementing a new process isn't necessarily a bad thing, when it's over something as dumb as calling someone like a simp, cell, virgin, cucklord, or whatever, yeah, it's pretty stupid, and it would be easily avoidable if, instead of looking at the language people use, staff would actually pay attention to behavior patterns and how those could be harmful instead. People can be annoying, offensive, and just general dickheads with or without the use of certain words, as I'll get into in the next segment. It's important to note here that they specified using the words as an insult, but really banning a word to protect creators against harassment doesn't really do much, because it's not the word that's doing the harassing, it's the people themselves. Now obviously, you know, slurs are harassing words, but I don't think calling somebody a virgin is the same as calling somebody the N-word, so they're not really on the same level. Simp is literally such an overused term, it's pretty much completely lost all of its meaning at this point. Like, if a guy so much as treats a woman with basic dignity, 99% chance he's gonna get called a fucking simp by some 10-year-old who just learned what the word meant and is now using it in literally every applicable scenario. It's been so watered down and means practically nothing, and the same goes for incel and virgin. Like, I don't know about you, but calling somebody an incel is like 9 out of 10 times just a fucking meme. Like, unless the person in question is actually exhibiting incel behavior, usually it's just used jokingly. And yes, Twitch does say that they don't want to ban these kinds of words in a joking context, but I personally just can't trust any big platform with any kind of gray zone at all. I feel like instead of banning, at the end of the day, harmless words, Twitch should focus more on moderating the people themselves, because if people want to harass someone, not being allowed to say certain words is absolutely not going to stop them. Just because people can't call streamers virgins or incels, that won't make them stop harassing the streamer altogether. They'll just switch to a different word. Banning the words themselves will not solve the harassment problem, it'll just add a mildly annoying roadblock to the people who, you know, are targeted. Same thing for the don't accuse streamers of getting favors in exchange for ban list / popularity thing. The main thing these jokes stemmed from was the inconsistent rule enforcement on Twitch that seemed to favor female streamers. And I hate to bring up the Alinity stuff again because it's old news, but this is the biggest example of this happening, and she's one of the main people that is, I guess, affected by this. She threw her cat, fed it vodka, nip-slipped, had a dog stick its face in her ass, and she had to ban herself. Like, she literally had to take a vacation because Twitch would not give her any punishment. But someone can catch a 7-day ban for breaking rules that literally weren't even implemented yet. In more recent times, there's this one streamer that was literally just playing with herself on stream, like full on showing her bits and all, and it wasn't like a flash or a wardrobe malfunction. This went on for a while before she realized she was live, and this resulted in a grand total of 3 days of a ban. A different streamer, Barry, had been banned for 90 days for literally watching ASMR that had been previously streamed on Twitch. If Twitch actually enforced their guidelines in an equal way, I do not think the meme of Twitch streamers getting off lightly because employees simp for them would be nearly as big. We don't see that meme anywhere on platforms like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, none of that, because for the most part they're relatively consistent with the bans across their user base. There are obviously slip-ups here and there, none of the platforms are perfect, but it's not nearly as widespread as it is on Twitch. So perhaps instead of trying to fix arbitrary issues like words or memes, try getting to the root cause of those things instead and work on your platform from the inside out. Cutting branches off a tree will not stop the tree from growing. It may temporarily solve a problem or make it harder for people to engage in this behavior, but overall it really doesn't fix any of the core issues people are upset about. Not to mention the massive DMCA problem where people could literally be hit with felonies if they use copyrighted music. I'm not sure the extent of what you can do as a platform, but addressing that and reassuring creators that you protect them would be a lot more productive instead of whatever this simp nonsense is. If you ask me, Twitch should address its host of unreasonable policies, rules, and discrepancies instead of adding even more problems to the list first. Community members are not happy about this, and circling back to the streamer that was banned, Mink, she even said on Twitter that this whole thing was so souring for her that she was on the fence about returning to the platform. Minx is a huge streamer, and you really have to fuck up to make someone all out consider leaving the platform. I don't think she will, but I've never really heard of that dilemma before, as YouTube doesn't really have any other big competitors, but YouTube is a sort of alternative to Twitch, and although YouTube obviously isn't focused on streaming the way Twitch is, it is in some sense a competitor, and you really have to fuck up to make someone consider leaving a platform. Like, I can't stress how stupid that was. I think Minx came to the conclusion that she wouldn't leave, but still, it's just ridiculous that it happened in the first place, and that she was banned longer for someone who was streaming straight up OnlyFans content on her Twitch, and that was like insanely ridiculous, and I do feel like that is a blatant case of favoritism, but I could be wrong. Maybe some bot just fucked up, but I highly doubt that because it is a reoccurring pattern. Overall, Twitch has just been taking a massive L this year, and I really hope that they can see what they're doing here is hurting their creators' morale and overall faith in the platform. They've already addressed it, clarifying that no, this ban isn't on the words themselves, rather the context they're used in, but for a lot of people that really just isn't enough. Twitch should try to, like I mentioned earlier, focus on the actual root of their problems that the community has with them and fix those first, rather than try to implement new flimsy rules that really just seem like performatism more than anything else. Anyways, that about does it for this video. If you want to see more content like this from me, consider subscribing, liking the video, maybe even sharing it if you feel so inclined. I do still have my commissions open in case you want to get one of those. Links to all my social medias where you can DM me, follow me, or just take a look at my art are all in the description down below. And once more, I implore you to go and follow the account I made for my webcomic. I'll be posting updates as well as snippets from the comic, so if you want to keep track of the development on that, it would be very much appreciated. I'll be making a Discord server once the comic comes out. I know a lot of you have been asking for one, so there's that. And with that being said, I will end the video now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Happy holidays.